I mean, those dreadlocks were not real, but I was consistently renewing them because I was just like, this is how people recognize me. So I'm going to have the same hairstyle until people know who I am. Let me tell you, I've been in marketing for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Come let me teach you a lesson. Come let me teach you a lesson. Label line with the tweets. Follow me back to my nest. Label line with the podcast. Teach you lesson cause I got class. Label line with the impact. You be lying, that's a real fact. Come let me teach you a lesson. Come let me teach you a lesson. Label line with the tweets. Follow me back to my nest.
Welcome to Diary of a CMO. I'm your host, Lebo Lion, and here we're sitting down with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, and marketing professionals who've broken boundaries and built the brands and businesses that we love. Now, as you know, a brand is more than just a logo. It's a voice and an identity of a nation. All of us relate to different brands in different ways, as if aligning with them showcases our preferences, tastes, and dreams. Having conversations about brands helps us understand how they create meaning in our lives. I always say that everything that exists was once an idea, but not all ideas make it. In these conversations, we're going to ask the critical question, how do some ideas make it? And who are the phenomenal individuals who have the bravery to take action? Hi, Tribe. This is a kind reminder to ask you to like, share, subscribe, and do the things that you need to do to get this podcast to reach the right people. We want to grow this community and elevate it to greater heights, and we need your help to do this. If you're not already subscribed to our newsletter, please click the link in our bio to subscribe so you can get all things marketing, brand building, and mindset in our weekly EIM newsletter. And don't forget to keep checking in our link when we have events and masterclasses. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Today's episode is probably one for the books because we're sitting down with somebody who is called on TikTok especially a marketing expert. In fact, she's a marketing maverick, but she's more than that, and we'll figure that out or find that out in our conversation. As you know, in these conversations, we're really allowing these mavericks to share their journeys with us and give us insights into how they think and what came into them conceptualizing and building the brands and businesses that they have. So without further ado, let's welcome DJ Zinhle.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I feel so profesh.
You are very I feel like people don't know how profesh you really are. Zinhle, you're a businesswoman. You're a DJ. You're a producer. You're an entrepreneur, an author. I found that out the other day. I was
Isn't
like,
that
oh my
crazy?
goodness. And I'd actually also call you a content creator.
Yeah.
You know, and you're one of the best in our country so far,
Thank you.
I believe. So
I
you
can't
do a
believe
lot.
that title. I can't believe I'm actually a content creator.
You really are. And
Yeah.
I think content creators are the future. If
sure.
you're not creating content, who are you and what are you doing? So let's get into your journey, who you are for those who don't know. I'd be surprised. But for those who don't know, please tell everybody who you are.
I'm actually struggling to answer that question more and more because I was watching another podcast and they were saying the same thing, that sometimes we define ourselves with the roles that we play in our lives. And like you said, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I do all the stuff that I do, but I was born in KwaZulu-Natal to teachers. Both my parents are teachers. And more when I grew up, I just realized the role that my dad especially was playing in building the type of person that I am today. So then it makes where I come from very important for me. So ngizalelwe in Anvile Tanaozi, and then I came to Joburg only later in life to come and study marketing, which is the reason why we're here. But I grew up with great parents in a great family that instilled a lot of good things that I live by now.
How important do you think it is to have a good foundation and good parents?
It's important. I mean, it's unquestionable. I think it's the foundation of everything. I mean, I remember how I'd diarize my days, and my dad found my diary, and instead of questioning me about the contents, he'd question me about the grammar. And you don't say this, you don't tell a story like this. This is how. So my dad was very instrumental, and I think he was very intentional. He just never said, in just how he was building all of us to be a type of person. Even when he moved us to a different house. Later in life, I went home now and I was like, it must have been so brave for my dad to have moved us to this kind of house in 1993 as a teacher, but he was very intentional about the grounding and the foundation that he wanted to give to us. If we had not done what we're doing as a family, it would have been our own fault.
I love what you're saying. I think we really undermine the role that our background plays in who we become.
Yeah.
People think you're just magically DJ Zinhle. One day you wake up and boom, everything comes together.
I can understand that like that, how we can miss that, because as an older person, I'm just like, wow, okay, that's what my dad was saying. Oh shoot. Oh, that's what, like more and more, I'm just like, wow, okay, this came from this. Oh, there was a spaza shop at home. Oh, I didn't realize that was instilling business in me. Like right now, I'm realizing so many things. It is wild. Before I just thought, okay, I'm just going to do this because that's how life works. But it's my upbringing that has shaped everything.
Is this why you work so closely with your family members? I've seen
100%.
online that you hire and work with your teams are basically your family.
I also want to encourage them in whatever talents that they have to come through and use them. If I identify even the smallest talent in a kid, in anyone at home, it's on. You in front of the camera, you working, you're doing what you're supposed to do. And I think I have that kind of outlook on life because I feel like my dad also had that kind of outlook. If you have something, let's nurture it. Let's make it work. And my family is very dedicated to the things that we do, and I'm very lucky that they're showing so much dedication. But let me tell you, if a kid even picks up a camera as a joke, I'm like, do you want to go to camera school? Do you want to study this? Are you interested in this? Yeah. I was asking Asante, my 3-year-old, do you want to play piano? Yeah. Would you like to play piano? We're just in that environment, and it's great.
You're in the creative industry,
Yeah.
right? And I know you come from corporate, and you also understand the business of entertainment because you were also on radio. I mean, you literally have a 360 view of the industry and all of its stakeholders. A lot of parents will tell their children, especially African parents, don't go into the creative arts. There's no money there. Entertainment is a waste of time. What do you have to say to that?
I think children need to show grace also to their parents. If you are as great as you say you are as a musician, there's absolutely no reason to do or maybe hear your parents out when they say, please go this route, because you have to prove yourself. Like when I became a DJ, I was very aware of that. Like my parents are teachers. Like I need to be an academic to a level. That's part I need to check out before I can go and say, I want to get into the creative arts. The nice thing about creative work is you can get into it at any age. There's no rush. Take that foundation that they're giving you, whatever it is that they expect from you, and say, okay, guys, I've checked this out. Can I now go and do what I need to do? So I get that some people are just like, no, I don't want to do what my parents are telling me, but sometimes there's a foundation that you need, that you don't know that you need. So sometimes I don't necessarily want to advise the parents to say, give your children grace. That's something that's very obvious. But I'm just like, also as a young child who wants to venture in something that your parents don't understand, also have that grace of educating them about it and proving yourself with the things that they want so that they can trust you with the things they don't understand.
I love that answer. It's coming from a parent perspective.
Yes.
So if I'm a parent and I'm watching this, what are some of the things I need to be aware of if I have a child who wants to be in the industry?
Sure. It's a tough one because our industry is not as informative as it should be about the things that you need to do to succeed in the space. The things that you are doing as Lebo Lion in marketing and creative work, there's no blueprint for that. You are figuring it out yourself. Like, how many years has there been marketing in the creative space? How come you're the first one to talk about it? So there isn't a place or there isn't information that's going to guide you as a parent. It's your job to go out there and find that information for your child and find and be that curious. Unfortunately, there isn't information. There's no information label. There's nothing. You have to create that for yourself, but also create it with your kids so that you guys can build on something that your child likes instead of just dismissing it totally. And I feel like some parents are just like, but I don't understand this new world. I don't understand this. Maybe this is the opportunity also you can use to venture into something new. I didn't know how to skate, but my children want to skate, so I'm going to learn a new skill. So there's a give and take, in all these relationships. So allow yourself to learn something new using the opportunity that your child is giving so that you can support them in the right way.
I like what you're saying because we've seen, you've been very transparent with us, showing us Cairo, for example, being part of different campaigns and ads.
So
and she's really good at it.
She's really good at it.
Like, really, honestly, I'm not even saying this because you're
Thank
here.
you. No,
she really is very good at it. She's
Thank
got
you.
a natural gift and talent for it. And you see online people talk about how does she just allow Cairo to do this? Is this safe for Cairo to be doing? Is Cairo getting the gigs because her mom is famous?
No.
Please dispel these myths.
I don't think Cairo's getting the work because she's famous. Her mom is famous. Obviously, she's got the exposure because her mom is famous. Yes. But when it comes to delivering on the work, she's really brilliant. You see how we need an auto cue? Cairo doesn't need an auto cue. She will rehearse the script. She will learn the script. They'll send people in to say, okay, Levo's going to come and guide Cairo on how to punctuate, on how to do this. They always leave shocked. Like, how does she do that? Because she has a great grandmother. Like, her grandmother's amazing with those kind of things. So a lot of the things that we've done with Cairo have prepared her for this environment that she's in. And also, she's in this environment. This is what we know, and this is what she also knows. So it's a comfortable environment for her to operate. So she doesn't get the work because she's my child, and there's work that we get, and she's just like, no, I don't want to do it. So she's not forced to do all the campaigns. She chooses the stuff that she wants to do, and she doesn't generally work. I know sometimes I feel like she's working all the time, but she really doesn't do a lot of work.
She's self-actualizing and enjoying and experiencing. So let's take it back for people who don't know your story. I literally remember I used to listen to your show with Waskido. It was on YFM, right? I remember that's my first time knowing about a lady called Zinhle.
Amazing.
But at the time you had dreadlocks.
Yes.
And you looked like a tomboy. You looked like somebody who's just there to do the work. And that's it. Tell us about Zinhle from that time and when the pivot started. When did you decide to pivot and become the bombshell?
But the thing is, even then, I was intentional. Those dreadlocks were not real, but I was consistently renewing them because I was just like, this is how people recognize me. So I'm going to have the same hairstyle until people know who I am. Let me tell you, I've been in marketing for a long time. I know. I was very intentional even then. I think it's because I was coming from a corporate world and I was coming to introduce a new concept, not just a new brand, but a new concept of a female DJ to the South African market. Not to say that it didn't exist before it did, but the way I wanted to do it and the prominence that I wanted for my brand did not exist yet. So I was very intentional. Like, I didn't have dreadlocks. I don't have that kind of hair. I don't have good hair to have dreadlocks. But I was always like, it's so funny they just said that.
So take us through that aesthetic. Why did you choose that aesthetic as your entry
I liked
to the market?
it, but then I did a photo shoot, I think, the one time, and I thought, okay, this is my look now. It is what it is. I remember also just trying to find a name for myself as a DJ, and eventually I was just like, it's DJ Zinhle. I can't find a better name. They're just gonna have to learn it and go with it. And then just talking into like transforming to where I am now, I think it was very gradual, and it just was always paying attention to where I was at the time and what it needed, but it was never a big change. I always wanted to stay true to who I am and what the audience knew me as at the time. And the evolution was really like slow, but it worked out for me, I think.
That's so interesting that you say that. I want to take us back a little bit more so people just get a full picture of why some of us are shocked that she's saying that the dreadlocks were intentional. So you grew up in KZN. You have strict parents, who are good and they're teachers. What made you say, okay, I'm going to study marketing?
I didn't know about marketing. I didn't choose to study marketing. I was a great athlete when I was in school. I could run very well. My dad had big hopes that I would be a Marion Jones one day.
Wow.
But I think because of the type of schools that we went to at the time, there weren't a lot of programs that encouraged and nurtured that kind of talent. So then when when I matriculated, I came to Joburg with a few of my friends, and we were coming to register at Wits Technicon at the time, it's UJ now. And I was going to do sports management because I'm a sports person, not realizing that's not even a thing, but like, okay, let's do it. And then when I went to register, they said, oh, it's full. Ugh, okay, now what do? I don't have information level about anything else. I just know I need a higher education, and now I'm here. My parents are not here because they're at work. My brothers put me in a text and said, go to Wits and figure it out. I meet one of my friends, and I'm like, so what did you register for? She says, marketing. I'm like, what is that? She says, let me show you a pamphlet. I read. I'm like, I like this stuff.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, let me register for that stuff. And that's how it found me.
Wow.
Yes.
Are you glad it found you?
I am so glad. I enjoyed it from the very first day.
How has marketing changed your life, or the way that you see the world and approach your businesses?
I think also I think the first and most simplified version of how marketing was influential in my life was I didn't know what marketing was before. I would see ads on TV, I'd see this and see that. And then when I got into the classroom and understood those things were planned, those adverts were not just adverts. People create this with an intention of making you feel a certain way or making you take a certain action. That blew my mind. I'm like, really? So that was an advert? Oh, that was mind-blowing for me. I needed to understand that. Like, I just thought things were just there. Like, just thinking, oh, I used to love your TV because they'll say, oh, we have these new shoes. Those shoes were advertising.
Yep.
Everything was an ad. My mind was blown. And I don't know, like now, I mean, what do you mean? Like just that question right
So,
now, like,
how has it impacted the way that you run your businesses?
oh, it's everything. It is absolutely everything for me. It is, I think it also formalizes what I do. It gives me the opportunity to make what I do a bit more professional, because sometimes as creatives, we love to maybe say, oh, it's just my passion. Sometimes it doesn't feel as formalized as it should. So I think marketing allowed me to just say, this is a business and you are going to treat it as such, and these are the things you're going to do. And I think that is what marketing has done for me, actually, if I think about it.
And then you went to SA Breweries.
And then, yes, and then I was at Wits.
Okay.
Graduated, like, top of my class. And then what a lot of people don't know is I was tutoring at UJ after I graduated because I was so great at marketing. And then, look at me.
I love that.
And then I wanted, everyone's dream job when we were in school at Wits was working for South African breweries. Like, that is everyone's dream job. And eventually I was influenced enough to think that would be my dream job. So I met an agent. Every time I see people like with agents or interviewers or something at Mug and Bean, I always think about that was me one day sitting there not knowing if this guy is actually going to get me this job or not. But he was super confident.
Yeah.
And he was an old white man. And he was just like, I'll get you this job. Your results are very good. This is surprising. You're so brilliant. And I didn't think I was brilliant. Well, I still don't think I am. But like then I didn't think I was brilliant. And 7 interviews later, psychometrics, this, that. I got the job. And I went to work at SAB as a sales rep. Bad idea.
Why is it
Oh, I
bad?
sucked at it. I was so bad. I did not have enough confidence to be a salesperson. I remember also I had been driving in Natal, and they're like, can you drive? I said, yes. Now I was figuring out how to drive in Joburg in a like double cab bakkie.
Wow.
But luckily, I had also started DJing, so I had those type of connections with the industry people, because people were fascinated by the idea of me being a DJ. So whenever there were activations, even if they were small enough to just be like an activation at an outlet in Mamelodi, I would be able to call in a Tebe to come and show up as a favor. And thank God for Yaku, who was my boss in my second job, who identified this and said, what are you doing at sales? You are a brand person. You are an events person. Come and work in the brand space. that guy saved my life. Yaku Pereira, I love you to this day. He took me and put me in the job that I needed to be in. I think I was there as a sales rep for like a month or two, and Yaku moved me to brands, and we were doing events, and it was the best decision that anyone had ever made for me. I was happy. He was a great boss. I woke up happy, just looking forward to going to work with this man because he was so stunning and so encouraging. And then I worked at SAP for 3 years as a brand rep, and everything I learned at SAP is basically what has built all the stuff that I'm doing in events, in branding, because it's one thing to learn it like textbook style, but to actually apply all the things that you learned. Like, it's mind-blowing. And SAP allowed me that opportunity.
I love that you've made a distinguishing factor between marketing or brand and sales.
Yeah.
Because people think it's the same thing.
No.
If I'm a salesperson, I'm actually brand. And can you tell us the difference? And I'm saying this, being very intentional in asking this question.
I don't know if I can be that. I'm the person to tell you the difference, but yeah, go ahead.
Because I've worked with a lot of people in the alcohol industry.
Sure. Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
and
have
they're big
this
on
debate
sales. Yeah, they're
all
big
the
on numbers.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
They're big on the numbers, but they believe that sales trumps brand. That's
I don't
the
know what
conversation
trumps
we have.
what, but I do feel like we need to allow space for each thing to play its role. If you come to me as a content creator and an influencer, or as DJ Zinhle, to come and present a campaign for me, I'm your brand rep. I'm not your sales rep. I'm not going to sit there and say, so if you want to buy this, please contact me, or I'm trying to push your numbers. I am actually a brand rep. Like, I'm not, but there's definitely there has been times where it crosses over in terms of I can give you a code and then you can influence, but I really shy away from those sometimes because I want to be able to focus on my job of influencing you as a brand rep, not selling like 10 cars for you, Omoda. My role is this at Omoda. I'm not going to be at the floor selling this car in this way. You know what I mean? But I don't know about what trumps what. I feel like all of it is important, but I'm just in branding. I know that it translates to sales because that's what I'm doing with Era. Like, I can sell anything at Era. Like, bring it on. I know how to sell it because I understand branding that translates into sales. But for me to now cold call people and say, so listen, I've got these earrings. Nah, that's different for me completely.
I agree with you. I do not enjoy sales. I can definitely do it, like you said.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sales is doable, but
Yeah.
it doesn't give me life. And there are some people who are just so good at it.
So good at it.
And it gives them life, and they know what they're doing, and kudos to them.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you've made the distinguishing factor between the fact that there is a difference between
sure,
sales and brand, and people think it's the same thing. So you said that you can sell anything at Era because now you've understood brand, you understand how all of that comes together. For somebody who's watching this, can you give them some pointers about what you mean when you say this is what brand is? Because you've said it's influence. I've heard you say that. The job is to influence. What else does brand do that sales doesn't do?
Brand is, sure, I've never had to explain what brand is for me. But for me, brand is identity. It's making you understand what this is and what the purpose of it is in your life, right? As someone. So I had a conversation before with a young man who was saying, but what if I create products and no one wants to buy them because they're saying they don't understand them? It's just like, it's your job to make them understand what it is this is supposed to do, because there are brands that appear out of nowhere and you're just like, but I never knew I needed that. That's branding. So the role of branding is making you understand, or selling you. I'm so sad we're going to have to go back to, but just showing you the benefit of associating or using this brand. Because it's not necessarily about a physical sale. It's about saying, wearing these earrings is going to make you feel this way, instead of saying, buy this earring because it's cheap, or buy this earring because it's this way. It's about taking you and taking you on a journey that makes you feel a certain way about a product, about an idea. It's a feeling. Branding is about a feeling. It's about selling a feeling to someone.
Branding is about selling a feeling to someone.
Yeah.
That's a quotable, a DJ Zinhle quotable. So a lot of the time when we have these conversations on Diary of a CMO, what I like to do is unpack both brands, the personal brand and the business brands that the people have. So before we go into your business brands, because there are quite a few and there's some exciting things happening there, I want us to almost close off the DJ Zinhle brand with asking you 3 questions. I'll start with the first one.
Sure.
If you had to define the DJ Zinhle brand, the personal brand, how would you
Like
define
me
it,
as in
describe
Zinhle.
it? Yeah, as the brand, as the personal brand.
DJ Zinhle, the girl who DJs, or me at home as a personal, like,
The whole thing, because your
whole
personal
thing.
brand is all of it.
you ask such tough questions, my God.
Do I?
I think I am a relatable brand. I am exactly what a South African girl is, a normal South African girl is. I think I build my brand around, I know that all brands want to, or they gear towards authenticity, but I'm building my brand around being relatable. So that's what DJ Zinhle is. It's a relatable brand. I can DJ, so can you. I can make this happen, so can you. Like, I can be a mom in this way, so I'll make mistakes, so do you, type of thing. You know, like, I'm a very relatable brand. So my brand is very relatable and accessible. Like, that's what I think I've built my brand to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
Relatable.
And accessible, yeah.
Is there a difference between being relatable and authentic from your perspective?
I think so. I mean, it's kind of, there's a blurred line, but I could actually be relatable in an untruthful way. I could come to you and say, I am this person who can really cook, but the time Tabis was the one cooking behind the scenes. But I'm cooking authentically in front of you. I don't know. And in the most African way that makes you feel so good. But so I feel like maybe that's the difference. I don't know.
I like that. I like being relatable is almost what naturally comes from you that another person can be as well.
100%. I definitely believe that there is nothing extraordinary about me at all. There's nothing extraordinary about me. If there's anything extraordinary about me, then it means all of us are extraordinary, because I just feel like I'm just like everyone else. I'm like, if you're a little girl watching this podcast right now, I am exactly who you are.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's a very powerful statement to make, because I think people watching are thinking, oh, DJ Zinhle is this big celebrity. She's achieved so much. Why does she think she is like everyone and everyone is like her? And I think for me, what you're saying isn't PR'd, because I see how you move on social media.
Yeah. I think when people say, but you're DJ Zinhle, I think they're then looking at the collection of efforts at the end. They're looking at what the result is. But if you just look at if you break down the journey and what it takes to get me here, you realize that, oh, this one's just like me. But you are looking at just the result. That's going to confuse you to thinking that I'm extraordinary. If I come to you and say, I only know the stuff that you're doing now as Label Lion online and how you're able to speak, I don't know how you learn how to speak like that, because then I'm not gaining access to how you got to the result that is now.
Yes.
Then I'm only judging what you have based on now, when I actually should have a full view of everything, to just realize Lebo is just like me. If Lebo can do it, I can do it. That's how I feel about my journey.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
a very holistic way to look at your personal brand. What is the one thing that gives the DJ Zinhle personal brand an edge?
I think it's just that relatability, truthfulness. I try and be as truthful as possible. And I do that mainly because I believe that I'm just like everyone else. If I'm going through a sickness, I'm not the first one to get sick. If I'm going through a fight, I'm not the first one to go into. If I say something wrong, I'm not the first person to have said something wrong. There is nothing that I can do that you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I find I'm DJ Zinhle, but like, if I now fart on this podcast, I'm just like, oops. Like, I've never seen anyone fart in their lives. No, I think I'm very open to that. And that's why even like just living my life, I live it openly. And people are like, it's going to end in tears. I'm just like, yes, it ends in tears. Sometimes you never know. Because that's the normal thing that happens in life. But I'm not going to put myself in prison and live a certain life because I'm trying to hide things so that one day it's like someone saying, Lebo, you can't do podcasts because I'm a podcast, they'll fail. Then you're just like, okay, I'm not going to do a podcast. Then I just feel like that about my life generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, not having a limited belief.
No, I don't want to live in prison.
About anything.
No.
This might be repetition, but I'm going to ask it anyway, just in case we haven't covered it. But, you've built a very strong brand, and online the sentiment is really, really strong and powerful. How have you navigated over the years negative PR? I think a lot of artists could learn from how you've navigated certain situations.
Time, give it a beat. Go talk to your sister about it. Don't also just talk to Lebo who admires you fully, who's going to agree with all the things that you think are happening. Go talk to all the people, different people. Just give it time. And also, I feel like some things go too far because we're not willing to recognize where we went wrong as celebrities. So now this thing that could have ended in you just saying, guys, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that landed that badly. That wasn't the intention. I apologize. We want to just like, oh, mina ngeke. Like, time and perspective.
Yeah.
Like just allowing, because I was saying to my sister yesterday, which is the danger sometimes of being in the public eye and having public approval is that when it's taken away, we don't have a way to navigate it. We don't know how to navigate it. And because you've been around and people have always given you this positive feedback, the minute the negative feedback comes, you still want to deal with it the same way you were dealing with the positive feedback. This is a different thing altogether. You need to find a different perspective. I don't know. I feel like also, on the other hand, we also need grace because we are building brands and building artists' names without the knowledge of marketing and branding. Like I'm a girl who could sing. And then suddenly Lebo Lang is saying, I'm supposed to be a brand. No. Like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
What do you mean? I'm just singing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that I'm supposed to act this way or do things in this way. But perspective does help, and time.
Perspective and time. I love those two things because they require patience.
Yes.
They require maturity and a team effort, like you said.
Yeah.
Speak to as many people in your environment as possible who can give you different kinds of feedback.
Yes, don't just talk to all the yes men you keep around you.
That's going to be a tough one for a lot of artists, but that's brilliant advice. If I were to give advice, I'd say exactly the same thing. Now I'd like to go into some of your business ventures.
Yes.
But before we do that quickly, you wrote a book.
I wrote a book. And sometimes I don't want people to know that I wrote a book because then they'll ask me to write another book.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't have the time. I wrote a book just trying to simplify feelings and dealing with emotions. It's a book that unpacked what I had been going through at the time in like a positive way, the things that I had learned at that time. It's called Meeting Your Power, very powerful book, I think. I want to read it again. But it was such a lot of effort to put together. Oh my gosh. It was a lot of effort. But if you can find it, please read it.
3 key nuggets from the book.
From the book, the first thing I remember that I wanted to communicate from the book is when you are sitting at rock bottom, sit there as long as you need to, but have a plan on how you are going to get up. Because once you've hit rock bottom, you can't go any further. That's it. From there, you're only going to the top. So have that perspective of allowing life to humble you when it's trying to humble you, but also allow it to, and also tell it, it's okay, but when we're done here, we're taking this thing to the top because this is rock bottom and I've sat here to learn whatever lesson I need to understand. But from here, I need to take it to the top. Number 2 for me was, I feel like sometimes women, because we're such nurturers, sometimes we could nurture pain, not realizing it. We can take things or experiences that we go through and wear them as a badge of honor. And I didn't want that for myself. I didn't want a sad story to be my story for the rest of my life, you know. So I wanted women to just also have that understanding of, as a nurturer, sometimes you could possibly nurture pain, but don't nurture pain forever, because we could take it and breastfeed it and grow it. And every time I see Lebu's story is about the same thing, about the same disappointment, about the same thing. So sometimes it's okay to also just let things go. And the third thing is hope. You have to have hope. You have to have some kind of hope. You need to have something you're looking forward to, something that you're building towards, something that can take you out of where you are. You need to be looking forward to something.
Have hope.
Yeah.
That's a powerful one.
I live on hope.
And a lot of people, I mean, right now our country's going through the most. And just that concept of having hope is quite a rich concept.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's multifaceted and it requires you to really lean into yourself and say, my life is on me. Right? So it's up to me to have hope about...
I think hope for me also is you teaching yourself that where you are, where the struggle is not where you're going to sit forever. Hope is about saying, I know where I'm at, and I know the struggles that I'm going through with where I'm at, but this is not going to be forever. That's why I'm saying, even when life feels like it's humbling you, it's okay to just sit there at rock bottom and think about what it is you're supposed to learn from this moment. But what's going to get you out of here is knowing that this is not forever and looking forward to something else. I remember when I had a big public thing that I was going through that actually led me to writing the book. What took me out of that thing was, I can't wait for this not to be my story. I can't wait for this thing to pass, because it will pass. It will, izodlula. So I think if you can learn anything about hope, it's just that, you don't have to know how, but you just have to know that it will pass. Sometimes the thing that makes us sit where we are without an answer and feel hopeless is because we want to know how it's going to happen. It's not the how. It's just knowing, ukuthi, I'm going to get there. Sometimes you get in a plane, and not even sometimes, you always get in a plane going to Las Vegas. Do you know how you're going to get there? You don't, but you know what's in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Someone knows how to get me there. So that's God for us. He knows how we're going to get there. It's not your job to figure out how. Just have hope that things will pass and things will be better.
If you're enjoying the conversation so far, comment in the comment section with have hope. You can even add some emojis. We want to see how you feel. Tell us your story about how you've had hope and overcome certain things in your life. Zinhle, let's get into the empire that you are building, because you are a woman on a mission. Please break it down to us. What is part of the DJ Zinhle empire?
So what is part of the DJ Zinhle empire is Era by DJ Zinhle. I think that's the first thing that people recognize. It is Her Majesty, and also Znationfest, and then the performance, which is the music and the content creation.
What are you most excited about right now?
Right now, I think I'm generally always excited about Era. I love it so much. I can't tell you how much I love it. I love it as much as I love my kids. I love that brand so
it's
much.
It's your third child.
It's my third child. It's just a bed. It's just like a bed that makes everything just make sense. It's the foundation of everything, you know? And also just making me feel that I can do things.
What made you choose the accessories industry? Because Era by DJ Zinhle is an accessories brand. You sell earrings, necklaces, and I think handbags as well, scarves, glasses. What made you go that direction when the stats say that it's not a lucrative industry to invest in?
So I recently discovered something about marketing and entrepreneurship, that luck is a very big part of that journey. Just being lucky is a very big part of entrepreneurship. I've always known I was lucky, but I did not know that it had a factor in my businesses. I know it sounds weird, but it's a real thing. So I remember I wanted to do a sunglass brand when I started, and I quickly got out of that because I was going to do it with someone else, and then I decided, okay, let me do something meaningful like watches, you know? Because then it teaches us about the value of time, and also it teaches women, in my view, about what they're able to do with this kind of time that we're living in. You know, I remember that was the messaging, which it's our time. So what can you do with your time as a woman if you're living in the same era as Nelson Mandela, as the World Cup happening in Africa, all these things? Like, as a woman in South Africa right now, it's your time. What are you doing with that? So that was the messaging from the beginning. And like I'm saying, luck is a big part of a lot of things that I was doing, because in my head, that was the brand. I was going to sell watches for the rest of my life. And things developed, as they always do, into, okay, now I feel like I can get into earrings because I wore a brand. And when I went to the store, a luxury brand, and I went to the store, they said to me, oh, we sold out on this brand because everyone keeps coming here to ask about this earring, and they're showing us a picture of yourself. I said, no, Moose, we need to develop earrings. Literally, that's how we started with the journey of the rest of the products.
Wow.
And then from then on, we just then went into necklaces, and then it was handbag, it was sunglasses, but it was always supposed to be a watch brand.
And how is it going so far?
I think it's going very well. I think it's going very well. I also think that imagination and dreaming is a very big part of what we do as business people. The things that I used to dream of as a kid are actually happening right now. I used to dream of bumping into people wearing my brand all the time. I used to even dream of people wearing my brand and not know who I am. So I bump into people now and just like, I like your earrings. They're like, thank you. They have no association with me. They don't say, oh no, but it's your brand. There's people that just wear it because they like the brand.
Yes.
And also I remember when I started out as a DJ, I wanted to work with specific brands and they wouldn't work with me. So I said, I'm going to create my own brand that is going to work with me in the way that I like.
I love that. That's powerful. That's what Oprah did with her magazine.
Yeah.
Because no one would feature her.
Good for Oprah.
So,
yeah.
the
So I
greats
think
walk
it's
in the
going
steps
well
of the
in
great.
that way that, sorry to cut you.
No problem.
In the way that the things that I wanted to achieve with it are happening. But I do think that the South African market, especially ladies, have taken this brand to a level that I could have never imagined. They actually are the reason I can dream bigger about the brand.
I love that you emphasize the power and the value of the female customer. We have these conversations a lot online. We debate about it. People say, no, it's got nothing to do with gender. Men and women are equal in terms of being customers. And yes, all customers have value.
Sure.
But depending on the business you have,
Yes.
there are just some customers who are more valuable
For sure.
to your bottom line.
No, for sure. I'm
Can
with
you share, if you can, in a bit more in depth, why the power of a woman's rand matters so much for businesses in South Africa?
I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for businesses in South Africa, but I do feel like for my brand specifically, it needed me to understand what I was capable of. For me, I feel more comfortable saying to the female customer. I feel like I understand them because I'm also female. I feel like I have a better relationship with them. I feel like selling to a male customer as Era by DJ Zinhle is going to be a challenge that I need to face in the next 10 years of the brand. But because of what you're saying, that the female consumer, sometimes to me, it might not be true, feels like they have a big deciding voice on where the money goes in terms of the household, then I'm able to get to the male consumer using the female consumer right now. So maybe in that way, I feel like they are more important in that kind of way. But in terms of just Zinhle or Era by DJ Zinhle specifically, I honestly feel more comfortable around the female brand. I'm able to communicate better with them. I appreciate the male brand and I appreciate what they can do for me and my brand, but I'm just able to communicate better with the female brand. And this now goes to my husband, who's now given me access to a different market, especially with Era. I'm able to put the brand on him and then he gives me access to a different market because he knows how to speak to the male consumer. So I definitely feel like I don't know the education of it in terms of the female consumer versus a male consumer, but I do know that even with just like the look and feel that we've gone with now for the stores, it's completely pink. And we're not saying that the male doesn't have a role in our store. They actually have a big role. That the girls are saying, I want Era for our anniversary. I want Era for my birthday. So we get a lot of male customers in our store. And like I said, the next challenge is how do you then cater for them specifically, which is going to be something that we're working on for the next 10 years maybe.
I like what you're saying, and I've seen in some of the marketing activities you've done for Era that you've been pretty inclusive, right?
Yeah.
Literally all genders.
Yes.
LGBTQIA plus. You're very inclusive. Was that intentional, or did it just organically unfold?
I definitely think that I think the one thing that Moose and I realized soon enough, and it's so great that we realized it, is that Era is a customer-centric brand. It belongs to the customer. It's ours to curate, but we get feedback from the customer. These are the people that are consuming our brand, and these are the people that that we speak to. Then how do we make sure that we're using the customer as the face of the brand? We're using the customer as someone who represents the brand. And when we discovered that, we're like, okay, then who is our customer? Then we realized, okay, all these people are our customers, so they need to show up in our campaigns because they need to see themselves in the campaigns.
Show your customers in your campaigns. I want to touch on TikTok quickly when it comes to...
I don't know anything about TikTok, by the way.
Yes, you do. People call you a TikTok master. They say that you really mastered TikTok
That's a
better
good
than
lie.
a lot of marketers and celebrities in South Africa. So I think that's a very big compliment.
Thank you, it is.
Especially because that platform is on the rise.
Yes.
It's really taking over everything.
Yeah.
So to be somebody who's regarded as one of the masters of it
Thank you.
is a big deal. So we want to learn from you before you leave. So people can just take notes and maybe also improve their TikToks. But you've used TikTok for business.
Yes.
I mean, you use it. It's very clear. Can you give us at least 2 or 3 tips as entrepreneurs? What should we be doing on TikTok if we want to connect with our customers and get sales?
I think what you need to do on TikTok is learn the customer. Learn who you're talking to. Marketers sometimes want to make things about themselves, and it's not about you. And the minute you make something about yourself, you will not be able to communicate to the person, because now you are communicating to yourself even when you set up the marketing strategy. And this is something I used to do even with product development at Era. I'd make products that I liked. People were just like, okay, good. When you're done with that, please make this type of earring for us. So customer responsiveness is a big thing on TikTok. Learn what your audience wants. And then the best way to learn that is by looking at other people who are in the similar craft. So if you are a label lion, like a new label lion, then go learn from the existing label lion, make corrections where she's making mistakes. But if she's got a blueprint, then go and look at what she's doing. You know what I mean? Like, I am not necessarily a Mapiano artist, but I studied Amapiano artist like a book. And I think this is why I'm able to find my space in the industry even now. I don't take anyone who is succeeding for granted. If someone is doing something and it works, I want to find out why. I don't take, and this is another thing you shouldn't do, don't take anyone for granted. Don't take young people for granted. Those people are amazing. You can learn from people. If you don't love an industry and you don't appreciate something, that's fine. But what can you learn from that? That's a big thing for me. That's how I'm learning TikTok. I'm learning from people that you might say, oh, but this one is not a bigger influencer than you, but they've got a captive audience. They have people who are responding to them. What is Juliet doing right? You know, that gets her that market. What is Grace doing right? What is this person doing right? Learn from other influencers. That's one thing that I'll tell you. The second thing is, what can I tell you about TikTok? It's personal. And I come from an era of celebrities. Guys, please don't kill me for this. That was very big on being secretive. You should never know who I'm dating. You should never know who I live with, who my friends are. All you know is just Label Lion, and that's it. Label Lion can stand in front of the camera and present the best podcast, but I don't even know if Label jogs in the morning. I don't even know if Label actually is always looking like this. What is Label doing during her downtime? So I come from that era of celebrities, and it worked, guys. That secrecy and mystery worked so well for us. But that doesn't work now. It's boring. Like, so Pumaguwe. Like, now we must just always see this perfect image of you every day. Like, it's personal. We need to know the person. Like, we need to know you. And I'm not saying reveal everything about yourself, but like, be real with people. And I think that's why even the thing of ibele the possible, people were so fascinated by that, because people are just so secretive. Like, if you're a celebrity, you are a public figure, there's certain parts of your life that you must live publicly. You know what I mean? Like, you know that I am dating murder bongs. You don't know which restaurant we go to for lunch. You don't know what we like to do together. You don't, but you feel like you're a part of what we do because we're giving you access in the most comfortable way. I think people should move away from this idea of secrecy. It's boring. Like, brands are getting very personal right now. Like, you even see it with maybe a brand like At Home. They'll let you into what they're doing at the office. It's that personal. We don't want to see the perfect picture at the end. We want to know the process. So learn to just be an open person and let people in. And I get that there's people who are very quiet and maybe very like, you know, like private about their lives. And you can still be private, but give something. There has to be something that you can tell us. Like, it can't just always be like,
A mask on.
Hayibo. Then I'm able to hotel again. Like, when I don't know. Please don't kill me for this.
Transparency is key.
I think so. I mean, I think it's super personal. You know, it is super personal. And I'm not saying that everyone is always trying to be personal, but it is super personal. You even see with a cake maker, they'll let you into the process of how they made the cake. You don't just see the result of the cake. You appreciate the process more because you saw how it was made. And that is what makes us human. And now we want to interact with humans. We want to feel like this person I'm relating to this person. How I consumed Kim Kardashian like 10 years ago and how I consume her now are completely different. I was looking at Stormy and Kylie doing like a makeup tutorial. Like, it's different from what it was before. But there's definitely still like that level of, yo, I'm a celebrity. You must never know anything about me, just my work. Good for you.
Those are powerful points.
I don't know. Maybe they'll come for me, but I just feel like it's personal now.
You're absolutely right.
think
We
so.
really have. It's almost like TikTok has kicked down the third wall, right? So we really feel like if I love Zinhle, I'm with her in her life.
Yes, you're my bestie.
I'm your bestie.
Let's be besties then.
Where does bestie come from?
I don't know. I can't even remember when I coined it. I can't tell you. I cannot tell you, because surely other people were using bestie before. Surely, like, I'm not the first person to have used that word, but I don't know how I coined it. But this is the thing about marketing and social media, that repetition is such a big thing. Repetition and consistency, saying the same thing over and over again until people understand it. And that's something that I always sometimes feel like a lot of young people don't understand. That consistency and repetition are actually where brands are built. Some people want to come on and tell us one review about a brand, and then they want us to be that, oh, you are the label lion of the industry. How many videos do you have to do for us to get to the thing of thinking, oh, she knows about marketing? You don't do one video. So it's the same even with the stuff that we're selling. Angeke uposte amakeke wakho once and then come to swathenga. Mele waposte nakusasa. The next day waposte futhi until, like, just for me to learn your name, I need to hear it 7 times. Apparently, scientifically, I could be wrong, but you want to post once because you think you have the influence? No. I did the festival last year. We attracted 10,000 people, right? But every day, I wake up thinking, what can I do today to sell a ticket to the festival? Every single day, I'm doing something towards it, because marketing and branding are about that repetition, saying something over and over again until it feels like it's part of life for people.
People are looking at you, they're thinking she's successful in music, era is going so well. Why would she start a festival?
Why, Vele?
Why? We also want to know, bestie.
It's my family, they're crazy. I spoke about an idea. The next thing, my brother's like, okay, so I've booked the venue. I said, wait, what? Last year?
Wow.
Wait, what? What do you mean? And this is the thing I'm saying to you about luck. Like, I did not plan to do the festival, but when it was in front of me, it was a possibility. I was in. I had to make it work. I promise you, I had no idea. I mean, even like I was saying to my brother, why is it on 6 again? You know what I mean? Somewhere smaller. And I've got those kind of people around me that said, no, we're going all the way to a festival. And we did it. And now it's a thing. Like, I can't believe actually we did last year.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. And luck and work and effort made it happen. And now it's a real thing and we have to work towards it.
For somebody who's watching from another country, can you just give them an idea of what Znation is?
So Zeenation started as a celebration of 20 years in the industry for me. So last year I was celebrating 2 decades in the industry and I wanted to do it with my followers who are the Zeenation, my besties. And Zeenation has now developed into this big brand that has become the festival that we do now yearly on the 9th of August, because my audience and my intentions are always towards women and women empowerment and all those things. So we do this festival that starts in the day into the night. It's a proudly South African festival. I've seen a lot of festivals that bring in a lot of talent from overseas, but I wanted Znationfest to be a proudly South African festival where we only book South African talent. And it's and because I'm such an experiential marketing person, it's not just about the music. The music is brilliant. We are South Africans. The music is always going to be brilliant. But it's also an experiential thing. Like we have a lot of touch points and experiences that you have at the festival. Even with brands now, we're talking to a few brands, which is like, we get that you want to come to the festival, but we need things. We need interactive things that customers can do with your brand, because that is what the brand is built around, activities, built around dress themes. Like we want to create that environment of just like people just doing that cool stuff during the day and then going to the night and having a festival. So it's an African Coachella, We dress in our themes and we go and do all these experiential things and we do all these fun things. We go with our besties, the festival of all festivals. And it's a beautiful day of just like feeling empowered as a woman. And the big thing for us, because it's not a female-focused festival, but we do have a large following of females, we then had to make sure that it's a safe environment. So I do feel like it's a safe festival and environment for ladies to just be themselves.
An African Coachella.
Yes.
That's
Why
big.
not?
That's a big dreamer.
Why
That's
not?
somebody who is
Yes.
DJ
We're
Zinhle.
dreaming. We're dreaming.
We're dreaming.
We're dreaming.
We
We're
live,
dreaming.
we walk the talk.
Yes. Yes.
I love
What
that.
else? What else? I mean, I had this conversation with Sumezi, because you need soldiers around you when you're doing things that this big. And I said, I just need you to talk to me about what we're doing, because it feels like a lot and I need words of encouragement. And he did not ask anything. He was just like, so what you are doing is you're building a long-term thing. You are doing something like this. And it just went on to encourage me. And I was like, friend, I'm ready to go. Let me go see Lebo.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I want to lean into your TikTok strategy for Zeenation,
Yes.
because if you search hashtag Zeenation on TikTok, you will see, I'm sure, more than 100 reviews of how DJ Zinhle has decided
Please
to
do more reviews, guys. I
advertise
love
this on TikTok. And she's right, please do more reviews, because what I've seen is people have such different perspectives.
Yeah.
They're all positive, but it's like they keep seeing different points of magic that maybe I didn't see or somebody else didn't see. And I think that's brilliant. Can you tell us about some of the influencers who will be working on Zeenation and just the mechanic? How did it all come together?
So I'm a great host. You'll come to my parties one day and you'll realize that I'm actually a good host, because I pay attention to the small details. And because I've been in eventing for such a long time, I always want to correct the mistakes that people make that people make when they host events. And this is what makes the Znationfest so great, because we pay attention to the finer details. And then in terms of the influencers that we use, I'd be lying to you if I said any of the influencers are like booked and brought in and you are going to be doing this, you are Lebo Lion, so please do this for us. It's relationships. It is crazy. It is relationships. If you're looking at the newsreader that was doing the ZNN newscast thing, she's my sister-in-law's sister. Like, I know, it sounds crazy, but it's... So even when you see Titus, you see Mogelings, you see anyone, it's all relationships. it is all relationships. So those are all the people that I pull in. Like if you're saying in terms of influencers, we did the dress code themes now with Titus, with the Dube twins, and with
Sweet Guluva?
no, not Sweet Guluva, with what's the tall guy's name? Yes, please cut that out. But we did a campaign now for the themes with Andoises, Titus, and the Dube twins. Those are relationships. You know, I might have used them for campaigns before, but those are relationships where I'm just like, Titus, what are you doing tomorrow night? He's like, no, I'm going to be at my house. I need you to be at my house. I'm going to give you dinner, but I need you to come shoot this campaign. You know, it's relationships. And I want to talk about that because relationships are big. The Duo twins, I know through the music stuff when I have songs and they promote for me. But then I'm able to put in a favor and say, bro, come on, I need you to do this for me. So even in terms of who are the influencers that are working, all of them. All of my friends, like you, and you'll see them in all the campaigns. You'll see Dule, you'll see Lasizwe, you'll see Mogellings, you'll see Kayla, you'll see all of them. But the thing is, it's my relationships. Those are my people. Those are people that show up at my house. You know what I mean? And that's the importance of building relationships, because some relationships are not necessarily about what I can pay you. They're about what the exchange is. Does Lebo need me for this? Oh, actually, David, I need someone to talk about the marketing of this festival and make it sound even more genius. Maybe someone is not aware. I need to call Lebo and say, Lebo, I need you to do this review for me online. I call Mkosi. I say, babe, I need you to review this thing for me as organic as possible, because when you need me for a podcast, then I can come and sit. It's relationships.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's never going to be a time when Lebu Lion calls me or Mkosi calls me and I'm like, okay, well, it's DJ Zinhle, so it's going to be 25,000 rand. It's relationships. And that's what I always encourage young people to batter on. Don't make everything about money. Relationships are capital that you can use in your business. Everything, I do the festival with 4 people. 2 of my best friends and my brother. People are always asking, who is the team? The team are all my relationships.
Wow.
It's all the people that are pulling together to do a skit, to sell tickets, to do this, to come up with an idea that we're going to shoot. Like, it's relationships. Relationships are capital. And if you want proof, Znationfest is proof.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Collaboration is key, guys.
Yes.
And as a disclaimer, because I know some people are going to say, oh, I knew she's just biased
No,
towards
no,
DJ
no.
Zinhle.
No, I don't.
It just organically happens
Yeah.
that when I review Zinhle's stuff, she'll say, oh, thank you.
I was about to call you.
I was about to call you. But it's never her actually saying, hey, please review this and make me look a certain way. My reviews on Zinhle have been completely organic. It's been my perspective.
I've been very lucky.
She has not influenced one word that I've said. And I'm saying this on Bible, like really for real. It has just been me observing that she really is a marketing genius. And we don't speak enough about the women and men who are really breaking boundaries in our country. And this kind of podcast highlights that, to show you don't have to look overseas, guys. The inspiration is here. And if it's here, you can do it too.
Yes.
Which speaks so much to your brand and how relatability is everything. And relationships.
And reading the room.
And reading the room.
The strategies that will work overseas,
Yes.
that won't work here.
There are strategies that will work overseas that will not work here. Before we finish off this podcast, and guys, if you do want to go to Znationfest, how do people get tickets? How does it work?
So we are selling tickets at our area stores, but our main ticket partner is Ticket Pro. So the website is ticketpro.co.za. You have to come to Znationfest. It's an experience. It's amazing.
When I saw it last year, I was
Yeah.
in East London. I was
Yeah.
doing a speaking engagement. I had so much FOMO.
No. The
FOMO.
No, it's like we built the FOMO. Like, actually, this year, like, if you don't come, then it's your fault. Like,
Oh, I'm going to be there.
yeah. Like, the
So-
FOMO is a very big part of what we're trying to do, to like, you have to come.
Yeah, it feels like a club that you need to be part of.
Yeah, no, but also it's so beautiful that we've created such a nice and prominent moment in culture that even the people, because I have relationships, and I met the funny chef in Durban, and she's like, why didn't you invite me to your party? And I said, the funny thing is, it's because I'm scared of celebrities and influencers. If I don't have a personal relationship with you, I just can't approach you. I just always feel like people are just going to be like, no, you're doing too much, pay me my thingy. And just like, I get you, I'm with you. So I need to build a personal relationship with you before I can then, invite you to my house. Because as much as it's my house, I'm also doing marketing things, you know me, I'm always marketing all the time. So now obviously have that personal relationship and that engagement that we've had. But where I was going with this is now I'm even losing my train of thought is, with the festival, we've created such a beautiful moment in the culture that the people that sometimes I wouldn't even approach are coming to me saying, can I perform at the festival? Can I be part of the festival? Like crazy, like photographers from like different countries are hitting me up saying, we'll fly ourselves. We just want to be part of the festival. I'm just like, wow. Of course, it's amazing, guys. We are serious people. They're taking us seriously. It's crazy.
And that's on brand equity.
Yes.
That's how strong the
100%,
DJ Zinhle brand is, that
Thank
people
you.
can come for free.
Yeah.
To give their time. And I think even saying for free is misleading.
It's association.
They find value in
the
aligning with
association.
your brand.
100%.
So for them, this is a commercial project. For them, I grow in my career by aligning with this.
And then I think also that's something that's super important as a creator, especially if you're trying to grow your brands. There's songs that will come to you and pay you to be part of a campaign on TikTok, and I'm sure people know this. But there are songs that you're going to jump on yourself because you know the value of jumping onto the song. The relationships and all the stuff that people create are also like that. There's maybe festivals that will never book DJ Zinhle, but I can call and say, can you book me? Because I know what it will do for my brand. So not everything is about money. Some things will pay you in association. Some things will pay you in the credibility that they give you because you are associated to them. And this is why I love and enjoy the content creators that I work closely with, because they get that. Like they get it so much.
Brilliant. For anybody who's watching, because we could go on. I mean, there are lots of things we could unpack. For anybody who's watching, I also feel like it's their first time seeing you sit like this and really talk about your businesses as businesses in that way. What are, let's say, 3 things?
You always ask for so many things.
I do, because people, when they watch this podcast, they take notes. So sometimes I even get emails or DMs of people just showing me their notepad of things that they've learned from the episode. So I'd like to summarize it. But what are the 3 takeaways you'd like people to get from this podcast?
I want people to understand that marketing a new idea is not cool. It's not cool, bro. Like, marketing a new idea is not cool at all. Sometimes it's even embarrassing. But if you can break away from that mold of thinking like that and stand with your idea, despite what other people are saying, you can build a credible and strong brand. Right? Yeah, because it's not cool sometimes. But then once people hop into something, suddenly it's cool. You know what I mean? So don't be discouraged if you feel like your idea doesn't seem cool. Do it so many times until people start appreciating it and thinking, she's not crazy to wear these earrings. I mean, I was called the watch lady. Wow. It was uncool for me to sell watches at the time. But look at what the customers have been able to do with a brand like Era. Something else? Something else that I want to share with you is everyone is figuring it out. Everyone. Jeff Bezos, everybody. Label Lion, DJ Zinhle, you are figuring it out. No one was born with all the answers. We build these things a day at a time. So I want to discourage you from looking at people's results and measuring yourself against them. Build your thing a day at a time until you get to that point. If you are going to just look, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, and if I look at Jeff Bezos, I'm just like, when, Lord? You know what I mean? But I'm not going to discourage myself now and say, well, I mean, I'll never get to that level. I need to appreciate the process of taking things a day at a time, one step at a time. A house is not built in one day. A house is built like one brick at a time until it's a big house. So respect time and what it can do for you and your brand. Don't look to the side and say, but we started at the same time, no label, and now she's doing interviews with DJ Zinhle. It's not your journey. It's not. It's someone else's journey. Like, you need to focus on your thing and don't let other people discourage you. That's a big thing. Like, sometimes we look to the side and just like, but It's not your journey. Yours is different, and be comfortable in building it at your own pace and respect time. Guys, God for me and ancestors are a real thing. There has to be a higher power that you look to that can help you with all these crazy ideas that we come up with. Like, there has to be a higher power. So look to a higher power, look to positivity. And I want to also make you aware that your environment, the environment that you create for yourself, could either make things easier or difficult for you. If you want to live in an environment of gossip and negativity, but you're trying to build a brand, that thing's going to hold you back, bro. The thing's going to hold you back. You need the right people around you. That's why I'm saying you need soldiers. That's why I'm able to call Somiz and say, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Say something to me. Come on, bring it to me. I don't need to call a friend and they say, yeah, but friend, now Znationfest. What were you doing? I need soldiers. So you need to surround yourself with soldiers who are ready to take you forward. Don't sit with the wrong people. And I know sometimes it's fun to sit and talk about Label Lion and laugh about the mistakes she's made, but maybe also just bask in the sunlight of people who are successful, so that luck can also touch you. You know what I mean? Like, just allow yourself to celebrate other people. My sister was even saying that the one thing that she's learning about Kayla, who's an influencer and one of my friends, that Kayla is a person who celebrates a lot.
She does.
And the thing is, she doesn't just celebrate herself. She celebrates others. And you know what the universe has done? It has given her a reason to celebrate herself too, because she's generally someone who is celebrated. The reason people are gossiping about you is because now Tandi gossip, so it's in your universe. You understand what I'm saying? So curate your life. Surround yourself with the things that you want for your life. If you don't want sadness in your life, then don't surround yourself with sadness. I love marketing and branding. I love success. So I need my mind to be right for Znationfest. Do you know what I'm listening to before I sleep? I fall asleep listening to podcasts about marketing, about this. This is how I was listening to you in Relebukhere, because I was just like, I need all the encouragement I can get. Right now, for me to be surrounding myself with negativity is not the right time. So surround yourself with the right people. Make sure you've got the right soldiers around you.
James, really, thank you so much,
Thank
Zinhle,
you.
for coming onto this podcast.
Yeah, you forced me. I don't do podcasts anymore. You forced me.
I mean, I'm trying to be demure about this.
But you forced me. I was like, Lebu, I don't do podcasts anymore.
You know, one thing about me is that once I like something, I like the thing, right? So whether it's a person, a product, it doesn't matter. I will speak about it. I will surround myself with things. I mean, I even went to the Era by DJ Zinhle store before I did my first review of you, because I wanted to make sure what I'm seeing and what I believe is real. So I went to your store and I had a great time and I bought things. To me, it just all made sense.
But there's also great power in how I feel like you've approached me getting to this chair. You know, even when you sent me the voice note to ask me to come here, I think I responded after a week. But there was never a time when you were panicking and calling me and saying, you know, time and place. You were just like, okay, tell me, what are your concerns? Even when I came back to you, and you said, no, this is what's up. I don't know. I feel like because you are comfortable in your movements, my response was not about you. My response was mine, but it had nothing to do with what you're trying to build for yourself. So I'm not here because I plan to be here. I'm here because your universe said you have to be there. Like, that's what I'm curating for Lebo, because she's comfortable. You know what I mean? I don't know if we understand what I'm saying.
No, it really was energetically aligned.
Yes. But I'm saying also whether or not I had said yes or no, because by not responding for a week, I was basically saying, I'm ignoring your request. But you didn't come back to me and say, hi, Bo. Manja, you just continued in your universe, in your own way, knowing, my universe will find a way for this lady to come around.
Yeah.
And I think there's great power in also not panicking in that way. And I think that's one thing that I'm learning as an entrepreneur, that panicking is not a skill that you have to have as an entrepreneur. Like, you need to, like, someone called me today about a problem. I said, I hear you. Because we're releasing an album on the 1st of August, and there was a problem. I hear you, Sbu. So what's the solution? Then he went on again to tell me about in this one work. I said, I hear you. That's the problem. But I need you to call me with a solution.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I live that way. I don't panic. I think sometimes my team gets shocked with
It's
me.
hard,
and
though,
they're
like sometimes to stay calm, but you have
the
to stay
building
calm.
is burning. Why are you so calm?
And you are the leader.
I am
You're
usually
panicking.
very calm because I think, like you said, experience does a lot for you.
Yes.
So over time, you just realize that no matter how I decide to feel in this moment, what will happen is going to happen.
Yes.
So also, like you said, the narrative you create in your mind becomes the reality.
Yes,
So
yes.
in my mind, my experience of Zinhle has always been a good one. If you're not responding to me, you're probably busy, whatever, you'll come back to me when you can. That was the thinking behind how I approach things. It was, she's a good person, I'm a good person, we'll be fine.
And also, like I said, the universe will conspire in your favor if you are intentional about the things that you want and you say out loud what you want, because we haven't done podcasts in a long time. One, because I just felt like there's nothing that I'm trying to market right now. I'm not trying to tell any story. So there's nothing I can go to your podcast and say right now. But when you called, my manager said, yeah, but like now we've got a festival and also you are enjoying this narrative that you're a marketer. So maybe this podcast specifically is something you can do. You know what I mean? It had nothing to do with me and what I want. It literally was the universe just finding its way to bring me to this chair. So congrats.
Thank you very much.
You need to just now manifest money so we can take this to the top.
Right. And we're also going to manifest lots of ticket sales for Zeenation.
Yes.
And bring your besties, guys. If you saw what happened last year, you will not want to miss it this year. Zinhle, thank you
Yes.
so much for joining
Thank
us.
you for having me.
I think people are going to walk away with a lot of gems that they can implement in their
Yeah.
businesses. And that's what we're here to do,
Yes,
right?
yes.
To give people the tools they need to build businesses and brands that they love.
Yeah.
And you really are one of those people in our country. Thank you so much for
Thank
existing
you.
and doing what you do.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely be at Znationfest on the 9th of August.
And thank you for being brave and doing this and saying things that we sometimes don't want to say because we sometimes don't know, you know, what we're looking at. But I feel like, as someone who's always said our industry is not getting the information it needs, I feel like you're contributing a lot of information into the industry. You're making a lot of us think, and also you're very brave about it, which you need to do, because if you are the first mover in this kind of industry, you need to show people why you're the first mover by being as brave as you are. So I think that's good. So congratulations on this and everything else.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Guys, thank you for tuning in. That was our conversation with marketing maverick, entrepreneur, businesswoman, DJ, producer, just all-round amazing human being, DJ Zinhle. And remember, the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So take your time and enjoy the process. Hi, tribe. This is a kind reminder to ask you to like, share, subscribe, and do the things that you need to do to get this podcast to reach the right people. We want to grow this community and elevate it to greater heights, and we need your help to do this. If you're not already subscribed to our newsletter, please click the link in our bio to subscribe so you can get all things marketing, brand building, and mindset in our weekly EIM newsletter. And don't forget to keep checking in our link when we have events and masterclasses. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Come let me teach you a lesson. Come let me teach you a lesson. Label line with the tweets. Follow me back to my nest. Label line with the podcast. Teach you lesson cause I got class. Label line with the impact. You be lying, that's a real fact. Come let me teach you a lesson. Come let me teach you a lesson.